Hey, what's up? Keep it simple, Stewman fans. It's Brad here, and it is mid-November. This is the week before Thanksgiving, and we are coming up on a major holiday. It's not Thanksgiving, it's not Hanukkah, it's not Christmas. It's actually National Youth Pastor Sunday, and I couldn't be more excited. I actually got a text from my senior pastor just this last week. Said, hey, do you want to preach on the 31st of December? And I thought, yeah, it's a national holiday. It's National Youth Pastor Sunday. The Sunday after Christmas, where every senior pastor takes off after the busy Christmas season, and their youth pastor gets tapped and tagged in to preach the Sunday morning service. It may be something that you've been asked to do. Maybe it's this coming up this after Christmas, or maybe it's coming up sooner than that, or in January, or next time your pastor takes a vacation. But here's what I want to do. I want to talk about 4 things that are going to help you prepare for that moment. Because in this moment, you have some incredible opportunities to do amazing things, both for the life of your youth ministry and your church at large, if you do it really well. So, National Youth Pastor Sunday is coming up December 31st, 2017. But this applies to any day that you get to preach. 4 things coming up right now. Here we go. Hey, before we go any further today, first please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. We are about 200 subscribers already, and I can't believe that. I can't believe the comments and the favor we're receiving because of this channel. I hope it helps you, and I hope this particularly helps you because I remember the first time I got to preach in the main service at the very first church I ever worked at. And it was terrifying, but I also really stumbled over some of these very things we're going to go over today, and I wish I could go back and do it all over again because I would totally do it differently. So, a couple things. I know that when I first got the call to preach on Sunday morning, I had a sort of existential crisis. I was like, oh, who am I as a youth pastor? I'm not just a youth pastor. I had this chip on my shoulder where I was like, I'm not just a youth pastor, I'm a pastor, so I'm going to preach with the same authority, blah, 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 blah. So, in honor of the existential crisis that I had, and that you may have had or may be having, I picked an acronym to help us go through these 4 things. That is one of my favorite existential philosophers, Hume. It's also my favorite camp here in California. So 4 things, and here I'll show it to you. First is humility, then under authority, minimal, and excellence. So we're going to go over those 4 things real quick, one by one. First thing is humility. You have to come across with genuine humility. That doesn't mean that you're meek and soft-spoken, or you use flannel graph. You can have boldness and courage and preach the gospel boldly, but it has to come up from a place of self-awareness and humility, right? And that's something that you need to continue to develop, obviously, but it has to come off in your preaching. So as we get to the part about excellence and practicing, make sure that's something that you're asking for feedback about. Do I come off, am I believable? Am I humble? Do I come off authentic? Because if you come off as just this young, hotshot know-it-all, people are not going to receive it well, and that's going to do damage to your ministry and to the church as a whole. So humility is a huge part, and that's where it begins. Second thing is under authority. You're the youth pastor, and you might be a pastor. You may be on the church board. You may be an elder, but you are under authority. And so please do not ever use your opportunity to preach God's word on a Sunday morning service in the main sanctuary as an opportunity to give your commentary on what you think the church should be doing, or any lack of leadership or lack of decision making that your senior leadership is making at the time. Do not ever do that. You are under authority. In fact, use it as an opportunity to express your gratitude for their leadership, your gratitude for your elders and your church board. You are under authority, and I think that should come through in the way that you speak. So that's 2 things, humility, under authority. The third thing is minimal. Minimal means don't get overcomplicated. Keep it shorter. If your pastor preaches for 35 minutes, unless you've been told otherwise, preach for 32 or 30 or 28. No one ever is really upset that you didn't go long enough. No one ever walks in and goes, oh, that youth pastor was great. I just wish he'd gone for 2 more hours. No one ever says that. People love to get out early. They love to be let go early. Even if your message is great and captivating and you do it excellently, which I hope that you do, no one is ever upset when you keep it shorter. The other part of that is don't be overcomplicated. Hopefully you're practicing these great habits in your student speaking as well, but keep it to 1 or 2 main points. Keep the point of your message minimal, right? Cut it down. Write everything you want to say, but then start cutting a bunch of stuff out and go with the minimal amount that you can say. Okay? I think it helps you. I think it helps your preparation, but it also helps the hearer learn and understand what you're trying to communicate. So minimal. Fourth thing is excellence. Do a really great job. If you're gonna do a video because you're hip and young, make sure the sound and video guys have it queued up. Do a good job. Cover all your bases. Do a good outline. If you're gonna use an object lesson, make sure it's done really well. If you're gonna preach, practice. Sit in a room full of mirrors, or get some of your students or some parents or people together and let them hear your sermon a week in advance. Maybe preach it for the lead pastor one time and take honest feedback, but do a really great job. And here's why all these are important. First of all, you always want to do a good job preaching God's word. Anytime you get the opportunity to speak about Jesus, you want to do an excellent job. That's a no-brainer. But there are other benefits that you need to see that can come of this. First, you can do really great things for your youth ministry, right? You can inspire parents, inspire students, and inspire potential volunteers. I mean, there are volunteers in your church who have not joined your team because they don't trust you, they don't know you. And an opportunity to build trust through doing an excellent job, through being humble, through showing the under authority and letting them out go early is a way to show people who might work on your team that you are someone worth following. The other thing is that you do really great things for your church. When your church sees that there's a capable, well-spoken, excellent youth pastor preaching the word to their students, man, they get behind the effort, and they may not join your team, they may not have students involved, but they will give, they will bend over backwards to make sure that you are successful. And so it helps your church, helps your youth ministry as a whole when you do a really, really great job. So these four things again. First, humility. It's got to come across as being something of character. Second, under authority. You are the youth pastor. You are not the pastor. You need to be under authority. Third is minimal. Keep it simple, keep it short. Fourth, excellence. Do an excellent job. Be well prepared. So hopefully those four things prepare you for the moment when you are asked to preach God's word for the main service or big church or whatever you want to call it. But you have an opportunity, even beyond the moments of the Sunday morning service, to do amazing things for your youth ministry and the church at whole. So please take advantage of it. Work really hard. Again, I'm praying for you. I'm excited to preach my message coming up in about 6 weeks. I'm already preparing for it. I'm working hard on it. I'm digging into God's word because I want to do an excellent job. As always, praying for you guys. Bye-bye. Have a great week.